This is the Jabba the Hutt concept maquette replica from Regal Robot, and I first talked about this on the channel way back in November of 2020. I had to go back and look this up. It's been almost 5 years since they've started this whole archive collection of theirs where they're digitally scanning and then replicating the maquettes that were created during production of Return of the Jedi and that were used to help create a lot of the characters that we know and love today. Jabba, being, I guess, the first one in the archive collection, has a little bit of a weird position, and I'll explain what I mean by that. They hadn't quite figured out everything that they were going to do with the collection at that point. And so, for example, pretty much all of the maquettes that have been released have this nice wooden base on it, a nice black base. And at that point, they hadn't decided that they would be doing that, so they released Jabba just on his own. I mean, it helps that he has his own base that he's sitting on, his dais here. But they decided to go ahead and release this as a separate piece for collectors who wanted a little bit more visual, consistency with the rest of the pieces in their collection. And I think you can say that the thing we're talking about today is similar in a way. Let me explain. So a lot of their more recent releases, as you'll know if you've been watching my channel recently, have come with pieces of artwork. These are called Legacy Edition versions of the maquettes. They come with not only the maquette itself, but a nice signature plaque from the person who created the maquette originally during Return of the Jedi, and a piece of original artwork from that person. Generally, they're 50, 75, something like that, pieces of artwork, all completely different, created by that original creator of the maquette in question. And I find those to be really cool pieces. It gives you a connection to the person that created the artwork, that you might not otherwise have. In this case, of course, the creator of Jabba is Phil Tippett. He was the head of the Creature Shop on Jedi, and he also created, in addition to Jabba, characters like Bib Fortuna, the Rancor, etc., etc. Just a huge, huge influence on Jabba's palace. And I've been collecting the other pieces that they released for him, including the Rancor and Bib Fortuna, for example, and those did come with Legacy Edition versions. So it always did seem a little bit too bad that Jabba himself did not have one. But they're going to be rectifying that today, or very shortly anyway, by releasing a standalone Legacy Edition sketch that people can buy. So let's go ahead and look at that right now. So here we have the piece itself. This follows the same format as the other Legacy Edition maquettes have followed. We have the plaque on the bottom here with signature of the person involved, in this case Phil Tippett. And then on the top we have the actual unique piece of artwork that they have created. This is a little different, I will say, than the other pieces that Phil Tippett has done for the archive collection, in that it is including a little bit of coloration here. He's, on all of his pieces, as far as I can tell, added just a swatch of color there. And I really like it, actually. I think it adds a lot to it. But anyway, we have here a very nice sketch of Jabba, kind of in repose, I suppose you'd say, sort of sitting back regally as he does, and be able to add a piece of artwork from none other than Phil Tippett, who designed Jabba, is very exciting to me. Let's see what it looks like next to the actual maquette. Well, given how Jabba is posed here, with his head over here and his tail down here, it seems to make sense to me to have the plaque kind of in the back on the left-hand side, just so you can see more of it. I think it looks really amazing paired with this original maquette here, and I'm really thrilled to be able to add this to my collection and, bring my favorite of the maquettes up to parity with all the other more recent pieces that have been released. This is going to be put up for order on Wednesday, the 11th. That's a little different than usual. They typically, Regal Robot typically has been releasing things on Tuesday, but for whatever reason, it's going to be Wednesday at noon. That's Eastern time. And it's going to cost $2.99. Now, as I mentioned, you don't have to have bought this at all. You can just buy this as a piece of artwork that you have on its own. But, you know, I think the intent is primarily to have people pair it with their existing maquettes, and I think that's going to work really well for that purpose. Yeah, I'm going to put a link in the video description to Regal Robot's website, so if you're interested, you can check that out. Just wanted to give you a heads up about this in case anyone was waiting for this to be released. I was certainly waiting and hoping that they would do something like this, and I wasn't disappointed. Thanks very much for watching.